Welcome back. This is Empower. We focus on people and workplace. We are glad that you're watching. We took a short break, and before we went for a break, we were looking at the benefits that an organization gets when they retain employee for a long time. And we're going to look at, in any business, their leaders or managers that people work under, at whichever level, because even the senior level has the board and all that. Yeah? And these managers, I believe, have a responsibility in retention, because these are the people you're working with most of the time on day-to-day basis, and they can affect someone's retention. So as a manager, what can I do so that I can make sure, or I can ensure my team stays longer with me?
Thank you, Chuchu. I think that's a very good question.
Yes.
And there's this common saying in the HR circle that people don't leave organization, but they leave their managers.
Yes.
Yeah. So as a manager, it is very critical that you get to understand your people's need.
Yes.
And one of the things that you get to understand is that people work in that organization. As much as I work from 8 to 5, or whatever time I'm allocated, the time I wake up at 5, my mind is about the organization.
That's true.
Even as I leave the office at 5, I think by the time I reach home, I will want to look at what have I done today, what am I going to do tomorrow. So if we don't have a good relationship, or if we don't have a good understanding with my employee as a manager, or the employee doesn't have a good understanding with the manager, then there's a problem. That is, there's a relationship aspect, because we need to relate on a day-to-day. We communicate, we give instructions, we assist each other in whatever we do. So as managers, it is our responsibility to ensure that we are, as much as possible, to be clear in terms of expectations of our staff.
Wow.
Yes. In terms of the job description, do you really understand what your staff is supposed to do? Have you sat down with them and have discussions that, yes, this is what your role is entail, and this is the much you can do, and if you reach here or you are stuck, please get back to me. I should be able to assist you. Having that relationship with your staff, having that understanding, work relation. The other aspect is clear communications of the organizational vision, so that when I come into your organization, understand this is the mission and that is the vision. This is what we aspire to achieve, maybe probably today. What is the long-term aspirations look like? What is your short-term aspiration looks like? Do we have clear goals that are set up? Key performance indicators. There's also the aspect of the employee being able to be accommodated in terms of hearing their views. This is the way it is done. But the employee probably have a better way of doing it. And giving them an hearing as a manager is also key, and it's very important, because we work as a team. We don't work as individuals, or yes, we can't give instructions, but you see, sometimes it's good to accommodate other people's views, because it makes our work easier. We're not the only people who knows what we do. These are people, we've worked with them. They've worked in other organizations for more than probably 3, 4, 5 years. They have a better way of doing things. Let's listen to them. Let's have a discussion. Let's try it out. If it's not working, it's not working. If it's working, we adopt it. So it is important as a manager that we have that open discussions and understanding, giving employees clear instructions, having clear communication, understanding the bigger picture and the role and the vision of the organization. I think that is very critical.
Amazing. And I think I get that. Because I imagine when someone comes to an organization having expectations, then they find someone who is not ready to listen to them. They get frustrated. And especially the time we are in, where we're having very young people joining organizations. These young people have different mindsets, different expectations, and I always say that this is actually from home. These days, even bringing up a child, the child have their say, and they talk to you. They ask you a question, they tell you, Daddy, I don't think that is fine. You know, that is how they are, and they feel empowered every day. Even they are taught in school about children's rights. My daughter can tell you the rights of her child. I remember when she was very young, she told me the rights of her child. So that child is she already has things that she knows. So growing like that, when they come to workplace, they have such expectations that this is a place where I should also give my views. I should also be listened to. Then I find a manager who is not ready to listen to me. I think I'll start feeling like, I don't think this is the place to be.
Yeah, just to add on that, I think one of the biggest things is creating that sense of ownership.
Yes.
Yes, for the employee.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my job. This is what I've studied, or this is what I've been trained to do. And as a manager, then, if you're able to drive in and ensure that there's that kind of ownership.
Yes.
Kind of relationship between the employee, the manager, and the job they are doing, then it will make your work easier as a manager. Because when I come to work, I know this is my work, this is what pays my bills, this is actually what makes me meet my expectation. Yes. So very, very critical to ensure that there's that ownership. And of course, we mentioned the communication aspect, the being open aspect, being clear in terms of the KPI.
And I think it's very sad for someone to leave an organization because of me as their manager. It should be a very sad thing. And I think I have a role as a manager to ensure that I retain them. And then should an opportunity come, as you'll be looking the next program, because people leave, that is given.
Definitely.
But they don't leave because I did not treat them well. They leave because it is time to leave because of one reason or another, but not me, because I never gave them opportunities.
Sure.
Good. Now, the organization, you mentioned about strategies, because retention needs strategies. Because as we said, it's not an assumption that people will stay with you for long. The moment you assume that, you lose it. People will leave you unexpectedly. So you need to have strategies. So maybe it is good for you to take us through some of the strategies that an organization can put in place to ensure that at least their staff serve them for some time.
Yeah, thank you. That's a nice question. And one of the things about retention is that in HR, by the time you advertise for an opening, you must have thought about retention.
Yes.
Ensure first that when you put up a JD, put up a very clear job advert with the right requirements, with the right qualifications, and then there you start getting it right in terms of retention. And one of the critical things at that stage is to ensure that you hire the right fit. The right fit in terms of, you should not hire just an accountant for an inventory kind of a role. Definitely then that person will be there just for a short while, probably waiting for other applications to come in or other considerations to come in. So I think one of the critical things, right fit, ensure you put up the right job description. When you're doing your shortlisting, ensure you do the right shortlisting. When you're doing an interview, ensure you are very objective so that you are able to meet your requirements as an organization. The other thing is onboarding. It is said that the moment I step into your organization, the first day you receive me will determine whether I'll say I'm going to stay here or actually, unfortunately, I've come in, I've signed a contract, probably I've resigned from the other organization, but I will mark time. I will just not mark time as such. I will just be here as much as I've not gotten anything else. And I start sending out my CV, which is very unfortunate, of course, because that is employee is not satisfied from the word go. The other thing is the element of understanding the career path of those employees, having those career discussions. Yes, you've started here today. Where do I want to, what do I want to be in future? As an organization, as an employer, as a manager, how then do I ensure that I'm able to work with this employee in terms of their career? If it's about training, if there are trainings that are offered in-house, if there are opportunities for acting, then that should come in handy. The other things, of course, is the training that you need to carry on a day-to-day basis, and giving them opportunities that comes in terms of promotion internally before going outside there, of course, if they meet the minimum requirements.
Wow. I go back to what you said about hiring the right people or the right fit. Because sometimes the mistakes we make is that we are not thinking, we are in need right now. Sometimes we're so much in a hurry. Sometimes you find someone calls you and tells you, know what, Beatrice, I need to fill this position as in immediately. So you're like, it's not possible. I don't have anyone waiting. Do whatever is possible. I need this person immediately. But you're right. We need to, for you to retain this person, get the right person.
Yeah.
Because the moment I come in and I'm not the right person, as you say, inventory, I'll come, this is not exactly what I was to do. I know sometimes we get into organization and someone, because you're really looking for a job, you come in because you're jobless.
Yeah.
But after some time, dissatisfaction comes in because you're doing what actually you don't need to do. So that person cannot stay. And I think it's good for employers to be very careful here. Hire the right person for the role. Because I'll come in within no time. Even the people that give us excuses, I can take it, you know. But you're so sure as HR, this person within no time, you start not getting satisfied. Wow. I want to bring out the aspect of recognizing good performance. You realize that there are people that really do very well in an organization. And those are the people we really have to have strategies to retain them. So do you think that maybe an employer can come up with strategies of recognizing good performance so that I don't feel like I'm doing so much yet not being appreciated? And I feel like,
Sure. In terms of performance and good performance, as you mentioned, it's very critical because we are 100 people in an organization and we are not performing at the same level. There's some people actually who give in their best. And at the end of the day, we earn the salaries that we've signed for. And what other employers have done mostly, of course, those who have schemes in terms of bonuses, they've been able to offer bonuses in terms of, they give a percentage. If your performance is at this level, then you get a bonus at this rate. If your performance is at X, then you get a bonus. I think then that motivate other people to work hard. So it is important also to come up with the right performance measurement tools, of course, which is very critical because there's also good performance and there's also the perceived good performance. But if you have the right measurement tools in terms of performance, then you'll be very sure that you're objective and you are rewarding performance per se.
Beautiful. And from the discussion, I hear you say that retention, we need to be deliberate, as in we must decide that I need to do this, and we have to come up with strategies to have it happening. Otherwise, we just operate, come, go, or if you stay, it's fine, you know. But maybe, how can maybe there'll be someone listening to you and they don't know exactly, do I just wake up and say, this is the way to go, or is there a clear way that someone can be guided on how to come up with the strategies, or is it just a decision?
No, it's actually a deliberate, as you've mentioned, that you need to be deliberate in terms of retention. And the reason why we have HR people in organization is to be able to guide management, that the strategies to put up in place in terms of retention, being able to ensure that all our employees are satisfied, are engaged in our organization. Maybe even coming up with engagement surveys, employee engagement surveys, and also being able to categorize the critical roles that we have, being able to ensure also that all our employees have their JDs that are very, very clear. I think that's one of the strategy that is very critical, so that I'm clear of what I'm expected. I'm not frustrated that today I was told you are supposed to do this, and yet from my JD or from what I know, that's not what my role is. So for HR, I think our role as HR is actually to guide management, is actually to guide the leaders on what is expected out of us as HR, what is expected out of the management, so that we are very clear from the word go. And of course, getting to understand employee expectations also.
You're right. Because for me to stay, as you said, we need to align with the organization. Otherwise, if I feel shortchanged, then definitely I'll not stay. Please, your last words as we end the program, because our time is up.
So thank you for that. I think for me, retention is very critical for any organization. It is the employees that run the organization. It is employees that understand the DNA of the organization. And it is our responsibility as management, as leaders, to ensure that we are at the forefront in ensuring that we have retention strategies, we have retained our employees, and we've worked with them to achieve our organizational mission and vision.
Wow.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being part of this, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe you've learned. You have that person with you, working for you, be it one, be it many people. Please have strategies to have them serve you for long, because the more they serve you, the more the benefits you get. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. See you next week. God bless you.